Protoss is so dominant. You look at this player and you think, okay, this guy is going to be highly favored no matter what the map. And especially on a big map like Merry-Go-Round. Reality has been, you know, quite... He got a lot of fame for his mech style. The style that he used against Sulky in our famous nearly 3-hour-long match that we had. But he's 3-5 in Pro League. He's 2-1. Definitely, like I said, a mid-range Terran. But I don't know. This isn't a good map for mech, in my opinion. And just soO is a much better player overall.
Yeah. Pretty much covered all the bases there. Reality's going to give it his best shot. We saw Maru on this map before go for a double barracks in the middle of the map. Maybe Reality does something simple like that to end the game, but here's soO, 5-2. He's only played one game against Terran, and he did lose it.
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, though, a bit surprised his arrow doesn't go fully up. I'm actually having a talk with our arrow guy about this.
He needs to get these arrows.
Listen, some of these arrows, I'm not so sure. Like, we actually need to have an arrow vote, okay?
We need to have a panel of arrow voters.
We need to have a arrow round table. We need to get people like Artosis Apollo on this
small
arrow
council.
Thing. We need to have an arrow small council. It's time for Merry-Go-Round Reality. Can he win it? He needs to. Otherwise, SKT is going to take the 3-1 win.
LTA는 SK텔레콤.
Up here in the top left of the map, and the ping for Samsung Galaxy Con, it's Reality.
And to the top right in orange, the SK Telecom Zerg. It's soO. A more successful Zergs. It's kind of overshadowed Sulky a little bit recently. Sulky not having as many consistent results in individual leagues.
And PP.
Yep. Often, often sometimes in the very early game, there's a bit of lag. You can identify that and pause as soon as possible. It's the best way.
Now, we'll see what the problem is here. Getting a couple of referees in there. 3 of them as we zoom out. Just how many people can they fit in that booth?
Is this a clown car or something? What's going on? That's crazy how many people can fit in that booth. There's no sort of update on what's happening to anybody just yet. So as soon as we get confirmation, he's like, actually, I was reading on Team Liquid that on this map, some of the gas spawns are imbalanced slightly. And I spawn on the top right, and it's not fair because the gas is like a little bit off after my 100. After every 100 trips, he gets 4 more gas than me.
We would have only seen that if Stork was playing on this map, man.
But the joke that I make is actually a somewhat serious thing. It has been proven that the gases on this map are not 100% balanced.
Yeah?
I don't think that's been patched yet, but it's like, it's a pretty insignificant difference, but it's something that, you know, as people do on the internet, have complained about.
They squabble, they argue. They want to make sure everything is exactly 100% correct. Not 99.8, 100.
Yeah, no, you definitely want that to be the case.
No.
Reality looks like a bit tired. I don't know exactly what this situation is here with soO. Probably not a hotkey problem, because at this stage of the game, he could actually fix his hotkeys on his own. And I'm not getting any FPS drops or anything weird like that, so...
Wolf's reading the
We're
chat
gonna
right
go to the replay. So something happened, and I'm not sure what it is, but we're gonna go back into the replay, and Reality asked in the chat, can we just restart the game? And he wants the game to restart. The referee is telling him that because they want to keep the spawning locations the same, they are going to go to the replay. So where you're going to have a resume from replay. Not sure what the issue was, but
yeah, it's hard to get information like this on the fly when even the referees are trying to solve things, you know.
yeah, and I don't think that the Korean commentators have the information yet either, so can't even try to like spy on what they're saying.
Like spy, take off the headphones and just go sit behind them and listen.
The replay is being reviewed first, it looks like, by one different referee, and there's also a separate lobby hosted, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into that.
You do that, Wolf.
Just so I can see if I can find any chatting that might go on that might give me further clues as to what's happening. That is really unfortunate when things like this happen, where the games have to be restarted. It can get into your head a little bit. As both players, you know, the player who had the issue, whatever it was, and then the player you're up against who's like trying to get into his mindset when your adrenaline's pumping, then suddenly you get yanked out of the game and you got to go back into it. You know, Blizzard has made this with the ability to resume from replays in Heart of the Swarm a much smoother transition than it used to be in Wings of Liberty, but still, there's no doubt in anybody's mind that when you get pulled out of a game like this, it messes with your mind. It's like when you're running and you've got a good pace going and suddenly you have to stop for some reason, like you know, you hit a red light or something. That's why you keep jogging in place, because you don't want to lose your pace. And
Yeah.
I feel like with adrenaline, it's a similar feeling.
Or even if you think about track, like maybe you get like a great start off the block and then someone had a false start, you know?
Oh, yeah, that's actually even
and
a
the gun
better.
goes off, it's like, oh, God.
That's actually a much better analogy to this situation.
Well, we both went into track, so we know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's pretty sucky.
So let's see if I can get any more information out of our little chat. As the referee is trying to talk to soO right now. In the chat, we have our little secret chat where everybody waits to be pulled into games.
Yeah.
And he's in the lobby now, and it says in the chat we're going to start. So replay is going to be recovered, and since it's just, I mean, we literally just you know, mined a few drones. It's not going to take that long to actually get to where we were before.
We're now recovering. We have the little blue bar. It looks like we're going to go back into this game. Right now, SK Telecom is up 2-1 over Samsung Galaxy Con. This game is going to be soO versus Reality on merry-go-round.
Yeah, right into the place where we had the pause. And in chat, it's asked to be ready. And he's going to count down from 3. 3, 2, 1. Game is resumed. And we're jumping right back into it.
Here we go.
So, I mean, nothing really had happened in this game beforehand, minus the production of workers. And they are going to stay at the same spawning locations. I really wonder what soO was discussing, but I'm sure someone will let us know later. I'll probably tweet it after the match.
Yeah.
If Reality wins this, we'll go to an ace match, and during that break, I'll let you guys know. Or if if soO wins, then the match will end, and I'll let you guys know on Twitter. Either way.
Yeah, you can follow him, of course, at ProxyWolf. You can follow me at Brendan Valdez. Tweet a lot of different stuff, but if you're just looking to find out the results or why we had that timeout, you can also find out that.
Yeah. Oftentimes I'll let you know when the rosters are out. My thoughts on the matches, and for example, oftentimes my Code S predictions. So they're usually pretty accurate.
Yeah. I feel like someone out there should like record all of the predictions and get some percentages going.
I actually favorited all my tweets that I made prediction-wise, so I can go back and look at them.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I didn't calculate anything, but also for those wondering, because I get a lot of questions about this, how this game heats up here. We have a Command Center first versus a Hatch first, so there's going to be a bit of downtime. The UBET predictions were, except for like 1 or 2 episodes, or like 1.5 episodes, not mine actually, but the predictions of writers, and I was just conveying them. So just to clear that up for a lot of people who got upset with me. for some reason. As, like I said, people on the internet tend to do.
So upset for no reason.
Now, Wolf, you were wrong. Like, Wolf, I said on you bet that you thought he was going to win, but then 6 days later when you actually came into cast, you said something different. I can't believe it. Now, you have, of course, a quick gasping mind here for soO. Seeing this trend more and more often, obviously, because if you're up against Hellions and Reapers early on to pressure your third base, it's kind of scary. You don't have that zergling speed out. Queens can only get you so far, but against a command center first, you might be able to use this early link speed to actually pressure and get damage done.
Yeah, we'll have to see what he does. Excuse me. With this link speed.
Or with roaches or something else. We saw him do this against Maru. He's starting to like this two-base roach, man.
Yeah, he's liking it a lot. soO is getting really aggressive these days. And, you know, thinking about it here, I'm not too surprised. Reality, on the other hand, he has his CC first.
You're not too surprised?
I'm not too surprised, man. Not too surprised at all. And he's got a bunker out, but it's one bunker. And if he wasn't paying attention to soO's latest games, maybe he wouldn't even expect this at all.
Well, soO scouted that it was a CC first before doing this. And this can transition into a normal opening with link speed if it is another type of build. So this isn't like an all-in from the start. This is just something he's decided to do, perhaps on the fly based on what he scouted. It could be, well, actually it's more likely that it's based off of the build that he branches out off of what he scouts, because obviously he was not just like randomly deciding to do this at all. There's a factory in the air.
He's waiting for that add-on. Yeah, there it goes.
So, I mean, he's not building anything during that time.
And he's going Hellions, which roaches, to be honest, just stomp.
And he's going to go Banshees too, which, okay, Banshees do well against roaches, but he's going to need a lot of time before those Banshees are really out. And during this time, he's building a Tech Ops. He's not building any more Marines. So there's literally one Marine on the map. Or there's two? Okay, there's
two in the bunker.
Two in the bunker now.
That's what we got here for Reality. Now he's got two. Well, I guess there was one. I swear I saw one earlier, but maybe it was an SCV. My bad. But here are the two Hellions. They are going to see this. And one actually is almost gets sniped.
Well, it's lost all of its hit points. It's lost all of its usefulness here. Now what he needs to do is get ready to repair as best as he can. Actually, honestly, I don't even know if that's the right choice here, because the roaches are just going to target down whatever he doesn't repair, or the SCVs themselves, which it looks like he's going to start doing here. Targeting them down one by one, splitting his roaches up, making sure they do the maximum amount of damage here. The first Banshee is almost out, but not quite. And he's actually targeted that bunker down for quite some time rather than the SCVs. Now finally looks like he's going to be able to break through. It's getting pretty low.
So many SCVs going down, and the follow-up with the Lings looks like it may do it, but the repair is just too much. In the end, the DPS is not enough. And all these roaches are going to be pushed back by the Banshee now.
Not good enough targeting there on the SCVs. Well, you know, you do this build, it's great against the build that we saw from Reality. But, you know, if you don't execute it very well, and Reality makes sure he gets his SCVs off the micro ASAP, and suddenly you have a big problem because you're on two base against an early two base command center for the Terran, who's got Hellions, which you have no answer for, who's got Banshees, which you're trying to get the answer for. This is going to be a roast barbecue here at the Natural.
Yeah, soO following this up with so many roaches, even too much here. He's got no defense against the counterattack against the Hellions. Seems like the Queens are going to eventually clean this up. But losing a bunch of drones as well. Here you see it's 10. And here's the Banshee. I'm like, and here's the pitch.
Well, the Banshee is going to be joined by her sister Banshee, and they are going to cause trouble. They can one-shot any drone that is unprotected. They're also going to scout the Spire, and he's going to have the ability to put up turrets, get Thors out, whatever he chooses. Got to be not careful not to over-target here.
Yeah, and keep in mind there's no cloak here. That's a bit of miss micro there, losing one Banshee, but here come the Hellions. Gonna try to come around here and snipe some of those drones. They do get one and maybe one more there, but a nice pull on the drones is gonna keep them alive, and all of that harass out of Reality is gonna go down.
Well, that was not the best micro he's ever seen on the Banshees. The Hellions, on the other hand, did a lot. And, I mean, the Harvester count is in favor of a Terran in a 2-base versus 2-base situation, with a third command center actually for the Terran, finishing before the Zerg player even starts a third hatchery. Widow Mines coming out here. Going to have turrets for the Mutalisk he's scouted. Going to have a Thor probably queued up here pretty soon because he's already got the armory. soO had a good idea. Did not target with his roaches very well. The repair was solid. And I think he just got greedy. He thought he was going to break through that bunker. Did not happen. The thing is, if you want to just break through a wall when there's not a lot of units in the structure, attack the depot. It has less hit points and less surface area to repair from because the other depots are blocking it. Yeah. If he tries to lower a depot to get better surface area to repair, then you walk in.
And then you get your Zerglings in the base once the depot goes down. Well, we did have that Spire scouted, so he does have these missile turrets all around the base. That is why he made that engineering bay. He is going to go mech here, of course, 2 tech labs on those factories, and making pure Thors here. Going to deny these mutas entirely.
Yeah. And in total, he's going to have 7 mutas on 2 base, mind you. So he's not going to have any sort of massive follow-up to this until he gets a 3rd base, which is going to be a long way away. These Vikings out here just to help zone against a small Mutalisk count, which he knows is what's coming because he knows it's only 4 gas economy. So he's not going to have enough to have more than that, especially with the opening he chose where he used all that gas on roaches.
And now look at this. He's making another roach warren here.
What? Did he?
Yeah, he started. I guess he canceled it.
Oh, okay. I just happened to be looking at the unit tab on my computer when you said it. I was like, what?
Yeah, the observer was pointing it out, but he did cancel it.
The reason why
mistake
is because he's like, oh, you're going back. I need roaches. And then he's like, ah, wait a minute. How did we start this game?
He's like, oh, my God, my mind is so programmed.
Yeah. See this all the time, actually, with players making a second fleet beacon, for example, or second Stargate to make a fleet beacon when they already have a Stargate since they did a Stargate opening. Going to catch a siege tank here. Small victory. Not a victory if he loses too many mutas for it, though. 1 muta for a siege tank. Not even a good trade when you're behind like this. He's behind 30 supply. Reality could actually make a few turrets, leave the bunkers he has up, and walk across the map and end the game, but he's playing safe because he knows if soO wins this game for any reason, then it's all his fault. And they can't afford to lose 1 game or it's all over.
Yeah. Now we see Reality deciding to put down 5 barracks is also getting the +1 for his bio units. So may go for a little bit of a mixed comp here with the Thors. We've seen this before. Gonna add some Hellbats in there as well as siege tanks. A very strong attack, especially when you get ahead early.
He's getting stem actually too, adding some Marauders in. This is a build that's not a build. It's actually a, okay, well, what does soO have? All right, let me make what it takes to kill that, and then I win the game 100%.
He's forced so many roaches, and if you think about the Marauders that are going to come out here and just...
The Marauder siege tank Thor against Roach Muta.
Well, here we go. soO's going to try to be aggressive now, coming in. Siege tanks are sieged up. He does have a nice concave here, but it looks like it's just so much.
There's a lot of siege tanks on the high ground, too. Turrets helping clean up those Mutalisks, and with just a little bit of SCV repair, looks like he's going to be fine here. If you look at this, you're like, well, he lost a lot of expensive units. The siege tanks weren't all ready yet, but he's ready now, and he has +1 for his bio, which is now the transition is complete. He had to get up those barracks back at home, but now they're ready. Combat shields are coming. He has stim for those. So those bio units that we see on the map right now that are starting to come out in 2 Marauders at a time and 6 Marines at a time weren't even quite ready yet, so he didn't have that explosion of production. But now he has it, and he has those upgrades too. And it's not like soO had the bank to where he makes this trade like, haha, I killed a lot of your expensive units, and I'm just making roaches. He just doesn't have the bank to make that statement. That hypothetical statement that I just created.
Well, here comes the push. It's not the longest rush distance here. He's going to have so many of these tanks. 2 Thors in here for any mutas that may come out. There are none left. He's actually going to go for the counterattack here. I feel like this is a good idea based on his position right now. He's going to start doing a lot of damage. He's going to cut off the reinforcements as well, but it seems like Reality has left back 1 siege tank. They have just come out here, but this is the big push.
This is not the nail in the coffin. This is like the last piece of shoveling of dirt on top of the grave to seal it up completely. This is the death of soO and the beginning of an ace match. He's going to come over here, scan. They have a lot more of these creep tumors. The base that soO made to the south, that 4th base or 5th base, well, yeah, it's a 4th base here. Lost to a base, hard to keep track. It's not going to do anything for him. GG, he's not mining there. Reality holds the push. Probably almost had a heart attack, but he constantly attacked the bunker, which was being repaired faster than he could kill it. And I think he thought he killed enough SCVs to where he could break through, but it was not the case. And then eventually he lost everything. The tech was too good for Reality. He had the 3rd command center. And soO didn't have any transition point. Not a lot of drones, not a 3rd base, no other tech whatsoever. Not even Zergling speed.
Yeah. We all voted for soO there. Definitely the favorite in that matchup, where Reality is able to sneak one from out of the curtain, maybe just by good defense. You know, that's all he had to do in that game. Basically, once he got far enough ahead, it was just lights out for soO. And now he is forced an ace match. And who are you thinking?
Today, I think parting for SKT, actually. For Samsung, you know, I really don't know. Not Roro. Absolutely not.
No,
Any other day, maybe.
Roro.
Shine could be their thought process here, because they might think, well, what if they send out Sulky or soO? soO did just lose, but he's still really good. And he's